Welcome to Student Spotlight. The purpose of the podcast is to help you understand the perspective of the students who are already abroad and get inspired by their journey. Through different episodes, you will gather hacks of cracking through top universities, job application process, securing scholarships, managing your budgets abroad, dealing with things like homesickness, where and how to network, and much, much more. For today's episode, we have Architi, who is from New Delhi and is currently doing her Masters in International Social and Public Policy at London School of Economics. She has worked with some renowned government institutes back in India and very strategically chose her course and uni. Let's get some insights into her journey.
Hi everyone, my name is Architi. I'm from Delhi and I'm studying International Social Public Policy at the London School of Economics. I have lived all my life in Delhi. I did my schooling in Delhi. I graduated in law school in Delhi. So I studied science with psychology and I wanted to become a doctor. I cleared my medical entrance exam, but didn't go into a medical college because I got into a private college, didn't get into a government college, didn't want to drop a year. It was too expensive. I was like, let's just drop the idea. And then because I didn't have maths when I was in 12th, my option was to go do a professional degree that doesn't require maths because that's what I knew I wasn't good at. And my mentor, my very close friend, he recommended, why don't you give a law entrance exam and see how it goes? I gave the law entrance exam. I cracked good scores and I was like, very well, this might be it. So I enrolled into law school. Did 5 years of law school. I would say my journey was very different from any other law student who might be in the UK or in India. Because when I entered law school, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know why I was there. And the only way I could figure out if it worked for me or not was to do work experience and internships. So from first year till my 5th year of law school, I started enrolling into different kinds of internships. So that would give me an experience of how the professional life would look like after completing law school. So I did internships in litigation, in corporate, in commercial, public organizations, government organizations. The one thing I did realize was I didn't want to go into litigation. I didn't enjoy practicing law. I didn't enjoy going into a courtroom and, standing in front of a judge and pleading a case of a defendant I knew had done wrong. So it wasn't in my conscience to defend them. So I interned with the Delhi Commission for Protection of Child Rights, which is a government organization. Okay. And I think that's when it clicked, like public policy, that's a field I can explore. It goes in well with my academic journey with doing law. And I interned with them for like 6 months. I worked on issues of child rights and sexual harassment in schools. That is when I realized that I need to continue working in public policy. After completing law school, I worked for a year in a startup in legal tech. Which was incubated with Niti Aayog. I handled their operations and policy, and they want to set up a startup in alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. During this time, I also went to the UN for a fellowship for 2 weeks. After my UN experience, I got into the National Human Rights Commission of India, and I worked as a research consultant for them for a year, dealing on issues of right to health, business and human rights. Right before coming here, I ended my job at the National Human Rights Commission and I came to LSE.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. That's a great journey, right? From where you started and, where you are now, right? Changing from law to public policy. If I may ask, how much did you score in each of your board exams?
Okay. I would say I would be the prime example of your marks don't get you everywhere. Okay. So I did my CGPA in 10th would have been 9 CGPA. In 12th, I had science and I scored in 80s. Okay. I didn't score a 90% or above in my 12th grade. In law school, I had an 83.6, which is a distinction. Okay. So that was my academic score. And when I applied to LSE, my law school percentage counted more than my 10th or 12th grade. Okay. And my work experience and the kind of work I had done along my way mattered more than how much I had scored in my exams. So I would say that was a big plus for me. And for anyone, if they feel like they are falling behind in their education, there are a lot of ways you can cover up and still get into top universities of the world.
All right. Would you advise on what do you think helped you crack into LSE?
For me, I would say it was recognizing what I actually liked. And I didn't enroll into LSE because I always wanted to study in a university out of the country. It was because I really wanted to do this course, and that reflected in, I think, my application as well. And for the past couple of years, I was working towards this degree and how I could actually prove that I could do well with this degree. So I had, like I work with the National Human Rights Commission of India, I was working in the policy division for them. So I came with a certain set of background and professional experience that I think LSE recognized. And so then my 12th grade scores didn't matter because I already had a little bit of work experience. Right. So I think you can find avenues to cover up where you think you're falling behind. Right. And that can help you with your applications.
Succeed. Okay. Tell me more about your statement of purpose. Do you remember what all did you mention? Because it would have stood out for you to, crack.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I did a fellowship with the United Nations in Geneva for 2 weeks. I think that, of course, was the beginning of my statement of purpose because I showed that this is something I had achieved. I had already worked at an international, with an international organization, so that gives me a little bit of global exposure already to be a good part and add my skills to LSE as well. I did mention a lot about the modules I wanted to study. So I did go through the course content of the program already and see which modules I wanted to study so that it shows in my statement of purpose that if I get into the program, these are the courses I'll be studying. And if you already have a dissertation idea, if your course asks for a dissertation idea, if you throw in a couple of subjects that you're interested in, that also helps your application, since you're able to tell them that these are the areas I'm interested in, these are the subjects I want to study. So that actually really helps your application.
Okay, that's nice. How is your course like? What are the modules that you're studying? Anything that you like really too much?
Yeah. I think the best part about LSE, which I didn't know about before coming here, was that there's no cap on the modules you have to study. So you can choose from any subjects that are available in the university and you're not limited to just your department. Okay. So that was a big plus for me because my department focuses more on social policy than public policy, and I wanted to do a lot more courses in public policy. So I was able to take courses out of the department as well. So I studied development and social policy. I studied behavioral public policy, global public policy, public organizations. So how do you do policy making in global public organizations? I studied research methodologies. Another good thing about LSE is that through LSE Skills Lab, you can actually get into gaining a lot of skills that require a lot of money otherwise. Mm-hmm. So you can learn like coding languages for free if you just give it the time. So I enrolled in the R program because I didn't know quantitative methodology. So I was like, that would be a good skill for when I apply jobs. Right. So I just went into LSE library, started doing the workshops with them and learned R as well. It doesn't give me a credit. I can just audit some courses, but it's a skill for employers who want to hire me. Correct. So that's another thing I did.
Correct. So how do you usually spend your day, your routine? Because I'm sure Masters is a very intense course, especially when you mentioned that you're doing more than what is required. Yeah. As you mentioned that there are more modules you can study on. So how do you usually plan your day? You're just engrossed in studying, or do you have other activities as well?
I think my friends ask me, when do you find the time to study? Because I'm out so much. But I would say it's all about managing your time well. I have a big calendar and market. Like, even if I have to grab a coffee with my friend, it's on my calendar which time I'm grabbing a coffee, so that I'm not wasting my time. And other thing about managing your time here would be, when I came here, I came from work. So I thought I had to still strike a balance between life and work, which I realized soon I'm back in student life. So why do I have to care about life outside LSE right now? If I want to work in London next year as well, I have all the time in the world to explore UK and London. I think this is the best time because I have 1 year in LSE. So LSE comes first, then comes my London life. So whatever's happening in LSE, whether it's a careers talk, whether it's a random event, whether it's drinks in the pub with my friends, whether it's grabbing coffee on the campus, I go early, manage my classes, stay in the library for a while, finish my readings, finish my work, and then do everything LSE has to offer, and then go out with my friends as well. So it's all about managing your time, and everything is doable.
Right. So what is the kind of class composition you have? How many students and where are they from? Mm-hmm. What are their backgrounds like? Because public policy is a very heavy and a very different niche field that not many people want to do. Who are in there? What's it like?
My department is actually very big. It's like 200 people, which is undergrads, postgrads, and PhD. So, and it's very diverse. It's surprising because most people say the majority people should be Indians in your course, right? But I wouldn't say in 200 we would be like 15 to 20 Indians. Rest of it's very global. So I have met people and it has opened my perspective to a world which I didn't know before coming here. Especially with the global conflicts going on in the world right now and everything that's happening. It's really enriching to mingle with people who come from both sides of the world and gather their experience on these things. So it's very international, and I've seen that it has helped me unlearn some things in my life and learn more things in my life,
Right.
which I've seen, which a lot of my friends who don't come from such international universities have not been able to do.
Right.
Because they haven't found that diversity in their programs.
Can you give some examples?
So a very close friend of mine, should I name the university?
Yeah, it's all right.
So my very close friend of mine is not in a university here. She's in university in Nottingham.
Okay.
And she didn't, and first few months here were very difficult for her.
Right.
Because it wasn't very diverse and she had come in with very different expectations. And that didn't meet the expectations in terms of diversity and the kind of people she thought she would meet. And I never faced that problem at LSE.
Okay.
So that was really good. Yeah.
So, okay, nice. What are your future plans from here?
I'm applying for jobs. I wouldn't say that I'm fixated on just staying in London. I think there's nothing holding me back in London or back home, of course, except my parents. My parents are back home. But other than that, there's nothing holding me back in one place. So I'm applying for jobs all over in the fields I'm interested in. So like in public policy as well, I'm interested in public health. I'm interested in public-private partnerships, corporate responsibility. So whichever companies are offering and accepting my application and sponsoring a visa,
Right.
I am applying to them. And
Right.
hopefully I find something by
Right.
the time I graduate.
Right. Have you come across a pattern of deadlines for the field you're applying in?
I would say if you don't come with a work experience, applying for the graduate job application route, you should start with your applications early in October and November of the year you start your academic journey. So if I came in September, if I wanted to go to the graduation route, I should have started my applications in October, because most graduate routes close by January or December end.
I get it.
But since I had work experience, I didn't want to go through the graduate route. So I waited till Feb end and March to start applying for jobs.
Okay.
Because I'm applying for jobs which have current openings so that I can join as soon as they want me to join. Whereas with graduate routes, even if you get a job in December, you don't have to join till September.
Okay.
And that's what I didn't want for so I know a lot of friends who applied through the graduate route and have some jobs already, but they didn't come with work experience.
Okay.
If you want a lateral entry with work experience, start applying in like March and April if you want to start your job from September.
Okay. If you have work experience, is it that you cannot apply to graduate
You
route?
can, of course you can.
But
It's a choice I made. It's a choice I made.
Okay.
That I didn't want to start with a graduate entry role. I wanted to start literally where my work experience would also count.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think would be prospects of your kind of course when you go back to India?
A lot of private companies have started opening public policy positions now.
Okay.
Because they need to be in liaison with the government policies. They need to have their own policies as well now, especially with climate change, sustainability, gender equality. There's a lot of things that all corporations now have to be careful of, apart from just having a legal team. So all big corporations and private companies have started opening public policy positions, which is really good. In urban cities, I wouldn't say it's a prospect till now in tier 2 cities. Other than that, with the government of India, you can apply for international organization, you can apply for big NGOs, you can apply for UN organizations like UN Women, UNDP, ILO, all have offices in India. So if you want to go that route, you can go back to India and work with them. So there's also avenues back home as well.
Does it fetch good salaries? Now, especially as you know, we know India is growing 2x, 3x.
Yes. So I think it's getting better. I would say a lot of government jobs are moving towards consultancy positions. The only drawback with them is that those are tenured. So you get like a 1 year or 2 year contract, and they can extend your contract to only till 5 years. And they don't give a lot of social benefits like medical leaves or insurance, medical insurance. So private companies pay you well and give you those benefits as well.
Right.
So it's up to you which thing you opt for and which is your priority at the time. But it has started to pay you better. Yeah, so I mean research is paying more now in India.
So there is a good return on investment even if you study here, spend in pounds, go back, earn in rupees. It's not too bad as it used to be.
Yeah, it's definitely not as bad, but if you're especially here on student loans, it would take you a little more time to like pay back those loans.
Correct.
But you save a lot of money when you're home.
Right.
Your expenses are very less. You're not paying rent in like £1,000 a month.
Right.
So you can save up more
spending.
easily.
Yeah.
Here you spend more, even if you're earning more.
Right. So eventually it balances out.
It balances
the
out.
Savings that you build.
Yeah.
Good. Any piece of advices you would want to give to our students, who are applying and want to crack into top universities like you have?
Yeah.
Anything you'd want to tell them?
I would say is don't hesitate in asking for help, whether it be LinkedIn, whether it be seniors you find, whether you can network. That's the thing I have found. Even if you text someone, even if you find someone's email ID, just mail them. There's no harm. Even if they don't reply back, you can mail or send a text to 10 other people. So ask for help, even if it's with your statement of purposes, if it's with your applications, or when applying for jobs. That's the best tip I also got. Like, just don't hesitate in asking for help. Most people would be nice enough to get back to you and give you the advice that you actually need cater to your applications or your job prospectus. And a lot of time, especially with job applications, they don't put a lot of things advertised online. Yeah. You get these through actually meeting people and actually talking to people because they're looking for someone who has the exact same skills as you. Right. So that would be my tip. Don't hesitate in asking for help.
Right, that's nice. If you were to go back in time and change something, would you change, like last whole year that you've been here for over 6 months? Would you want to change the country, course, your university, or your perfectly? Is it like a perfect world to what you expected?
Honestly, no, because I wouldn't change because I didn't come with a lot of expectations. I didn't apply to a lot of universities. I really liked the course. It was about the university more than the city for me. So I was like, I'm going it with an open mind. And I have been one of the lucky few who have had a really good time, whether it be with social circle or my academics. Right. So I wouldn't want to change anything. In my LSE journey, no. I think I made the best use of it.
I didn't ask you, but what other universities did you apply
to? I only applied to Oxbridge and LSE. I got waitlisted by Oxford because they have a 3 years work experience when you apply for public policy. Even the MPP program in LSE requires like a 5-year work experience. Yes. So ISPP was a D route into getting that degree a little earlier.
Right. Yeah. That's nice, right? If you were to define your student journey so far in the UK in one word or a sentence, what would that be?
I would say wholesome. Okay. It has been very wholesome. It has been a learning. As I said, it's a lot of unlearning and learning at the same time. So that is what I would say about it. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching today's episode. Hope you found some valuable information. Each student has a unique story. Do browse through other episodes for insights on various aspects of choosing careers, studying, working, and living abroad. Fill out the form below if you need guidance, and we'll try our best to make your journey much more easier.